Hello everybody! Today we're going to unpack, take a close-up look and test the Nikon compatible infrared remote control ML-L3. So let's go ahead and open up the packet. So in this packet is a Nikon compatible infrared remote control, the ML-L3, which is suitable for use with Nikon DSLR cameras, or those cameras with the legacy infrared receiver. And now let's go ahead and, of course, open up the packet by pulling open the plastic flap and now giving you a close-up look at this plastic Nikon compatible ML-L3 infrared remote control. So giving you close-up details at this infrared remote control, and you can see the transmitter positioned in the front of the remote control. And just to give you some idea of the size of this Nikon compatible infrared remote control ML-L3, resting in the palm of my hand. So it is shaped exactly like the Nikon ML-L3 remote control, but this one is designed to be compatible, and you can see it does say for Nikon, so suitable for use with Nikon DSLR cameras with an infrared receiver. Okay, so just going to open up the battery compartment. As you can see, there is a clear plastic battery preserver tab there. I'm just going to slide out the battery so you can see what exactly the battery size this infrared remote control takes. So it is quite a snug fit right now. And just lifting off that clear plastic battery preserver tab and setting it to the side. So you can see it does use a button type battery, and this one happens to be a CR2025. So a CR2032 will work just fine with this infrared remote control too. So the CR2032 is just slightly thicker. However, it will work just fine. So just showing you the battery holder or battery clip right there. And so just setting or resting the battery back in place and giving you another look at the battery that this Nikon compatible infrared remote control ML-L3 uses. So right there, the CR2025, and as I mentioned, a CR2032 works just fine as well. So now just going to replace or slide that battery in the battery holder into the remote control, just simply sliding right there until it clips right there. Okay, so very simple to slide the battery or replace the battery back into the remote control, and there we have it. So there is no on-off switch, just a very basic operation there, but always remove the battery when it's not in use so it doesn't drain away or discharge. So right there, and actually just going to give you another close-up look right there at this Nikon compatible infrared remote control ML-L3. Okay, so nice close-up looks at the front, rear, and the battery compartment, as well as the underside. So you can see there are some grooves there to provide some grip there, and of course the button for the shutter release right there. So silent button right there, just pressing down, giving you a look as to the function and operation right there. Okay, so setting that down and moving right along, I have a Nikon D3300 DSLR camera with a Nikon Micro Nikkor 40mm f2.8 lens fitted onto it. So I've unboxed that lens before on this YouTube channel, so just giving you a look right there. Overall, fitted onto the camera, so it's designed for macro photography, so that's where the infrared remote control will come in handy to reduce any vibration or shake when it comes to the shutter release button being pressed, so that comes in really handy to minimize any picture blur. Okay, so just going to turn the camera on, and of course just checking the settings to make sure that you have in the settings menu or setup menu. Just going to move the remote control to the left hand side of the frame so that it's still kind of in the picture as I scroll through. It's right there, just bear with me, just trying to be a bit tidy there. And of course right there you can see the remote on duration ML-L3. So depending on your style of photography or your requirements, perhaps if you're just an opportunistic type of photographer, you might want to keep it at the longest duration or detection, 15 minutes, so that it doesn't automatically turn off just when that moment passes, so you don't miss that moment when that chance picture comes by. However, if it's just a simple setup static photography, you might just want to keep it short. Okay, so right now, just choosing that 5 minutes, no real reason for that selection, and then so we've done that, and that's all you need. And of course, to make sure that the camera is in the right mode to receive the remote control transmissions, you need to make sure that you select the button right there with the remote control indicated, and of course choosing whichever setting you require right there, either 2 seconds, 10 seconds, oh I beg your pardon, 2 seconds, or an instant quick response. So just 2 settings right there for the remote control as indicated with the remote control graphic on it for 2 seconds, delayed remote. Let's press on that again just to show you. So delay remote or quick response remote. Okay, so selecting the quick response remote just for demonstration purposes, and of course to show you where the infrared sensor is on this camera, the D3300. That is the infrared sensor or receiver, so try not to obstruct that and make sure that it is line of sight for the remote control to transmit into to get that shutter release to happen. Okay, so just popping off the lens cap, and I'll just show you just a quick, just do a quick check without the remote control. Just pressing down, and right there, just making sure that works fine. And yep, so just a normal manual shutter release at the moment. So if we want to do a shutter release with the remote control, we've already set up the camera, so all we need to do is actually just press that, and there we have it. We've just taken a shot, and if we want to shoot again, just simply make sure that the transmitter is pointed towards the infrared receiver. So if I block that infrared receiver where the handle is for this camera, it's still receiving it, but that's just pure chance. But so if you're wondering why your shots aren't getting, just make sure that the settings are all set up correctly in terms of the detection period, as well as the camera being ready to receive in this release mode, that it is either in the delayed or the quick response remote release mode as shown right here. Okay, so just going to do just a quick simple shot right here with this watch, which I've unboxed before, along with the strap. So this is the Tudor Heritage Black Bay Harrods Special Edition, reference 79230G, and it's got the George's seat belt edge, or contrast edge, I beg your pardon, seat belt NATO strap fitted. So I'm just going to set it down right there, and then just setting the camera right in front of it. And of course you need to make some adjustments, but let's see how it goes. And right there, so right there it's taken a shot, and that's where the picture is, just showing you right there. It's actually of the shot. So that's where the remote control will come in handy, because sometimes when it's set on a tripod, just the act of pressing down on the shutter release will cause picture blur, as due to the vibration or movement of that simple little gesture of pressing down on the shutter release button. So let's try again. And there we go. Just a simple press to activate the shutter release using the Nikon compatible infrared remote control ML-L3. So that's the Nikon compatible infrared remote control ML-L3. Thanks for watching, and happy snapping!